So, can you tell me what you did this weekend?
This weekend I went to Darklands, which is one of the biggest or the biggest gay fetish event of Europe, where people come together to be social with each other, explore their fetishes each other, and just meet new people.
Can you tell me why you went there?
The reason I went there is because my boyfriend was tattooing there. He's a tattoo artist, and I was there to help him out, but also because we kind of like to explore the world of fetish and explore like what's to it and all the different materials such as latex, rubber, but also to meet like-minded people that are into the same thing and to just be in a safe environment where you can openly express what you like or what you don't like.
And would you say the safe environment was your favorite part of the event?
I think it was. For me, it was really a community feeling, and I have to say that like the level of acceptance and the level of respect that I've experienced in this weekend was like I've never experienced it like in that way before. Everyone was really accepting towards each other, and like during the day it was a really social event, and it didn't really matter what kind of fetish you have, what you're into, what you look like, what you dress up like. It was really everyone let each other just be themselves and also respect each other for that. So I think for me that was really the nicest thing of the whole weekend.
Can you tell me what kind of people were there?
Well, mostly men. There was during the day women were there allowed as well, but I think I've only saw like 6. But there were a lot of different people, a lot of different ages, like of course the minimum age is 18, but a lot of different people, a lot of different shops. I, for example, met a guy that makes leather gear, so like harnesses and skirts and all different types of things you can wear. But he only employs people that are HIV positive.
Hi, my name is Namo. I'm the owner of Spitfire. We started Spitfire as a brand to dress gay men or anybody with a fetish for leather, but there's a reason why we do that. It does not look beautiful. All my employees in my factory, halfway around the world, are all HIV positive. In the country where they are in, there's no medical insurance. So I provide medical insurance, scholarships for their kids, and I support them. So every garment you buy in our shop helps support the person to take their medication, educate them, feed them, and house them. And also when I'm here, I also cover different body images. You know, the gay world is built of body types. And this is a massive, massive problem that's led to people committing suicide. And in my actual occupation, I work with the mental health services. So I see so many people coming with body dysmorphic conditions, whether it's eating disorders, whether it's anorexia or bixia or whatever. They're all various forms. Either people want to be big, or people want to be skinny, people want this, want that. And there's so much bad plastic surgery people put themselves through. So trying to eradicate that, we make clothes to suit you. You don't suit the clothes. And that's why everything we make is made to measure. You don't need a six-pack to look the top of your game. Neither do you need to be fat or thin to look your best. I will make you look the best that you are, not the best that you can be. It's the best that you actually are. And that's what makes my brand.
Next to that, I met up with some friends who work for Recon, which is a gay fetish app. It's like a huge platform, and it's, I think, worldwide. And they also had a stand there, and I talked to them about what their platform is about and why it's different from other apps such as Grindr or Gay Romeo. And it was actually super interesting what they had to say.
Okay, so I think for me, it's really a place for people to meet online, because there's not really an opportunity outside of these events that you can kind of find what you're into and find other people that are into it as well. So with the closure of leather bars, or you know, you might live in a really small town and you come to these big town events to kind of meet other people, it's really important that there's not only like this online presence, but also an offline presence. So for me, Recon is really more of a community thing than a business. Unlike places like Grindr or Scruff, where you just go there to hook up, a lot of our members kind of want to just talk to people that are into the same thing as them. And I think that's the kind of real difference and more of the powerful thing about Recon rather than the other competitors.
Recon is becoming quite a big thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you think that more people are willing to explore like their kink side or their fetish side, or what do you think? Like, why is it growing?
Do you know what? I actually have thought that more and more people are becoming extremer.
Yeah.
Like, I think that when I was younger, I think people were less open, and I think now younger people are a lot more open to the idea of exploring your sexuality and kind of pushing the boundaries a lot more, because information is a lot more accessible, you know, like the internet, you just have to put a word in and you get all these different things. So people are almost like more open to experimenting and at a younger age. So I feel like for example, when I was 18, I wouldn't even thought of fisting as a thing. It's a really big thing, but I know that's really extreme. But like younger people are getting into it, like, and it's crazy. But I think it's because it's more accessible, and just as times change and people become more open, you know, it's just, I think that's what it is. Hold on, 1, 2, 3. It's so much fun in here.
Since it was a really open-minded event, can you tell me the most interesting kink you saw?
The most interesting kink for me, I think, is the puppies. So those are guys that kind of like dress up as puppies or dogs, but like in the fetish kind of way. So with like, I think it's like latex or rubber kind of puppy mask, and then like a harness and stuff, and they sometimes have like the butt plug with the tail. And I really like the aesthetics of it. Like, I could never see myself in that position because they really behave like dogs as well. So there was like this one guy who had like the best bark of everyone. So when he would started barking, like from all of the different sides of the building, you would hear other dogs barking, and they would like run up to each other and like sniff each other, and really they had like gloves that had like paws and everything. And it's really, what was the most interesting for me is that they really had their own way of communicating. Like, yeah, for example, like deaf people have like sign language. For them it was that like it was the same. They were really communicating in their own way, and they would like understand each other. And they even had like a section for them where they could go, and there was like this dog house, and then like this play thing that they could crawl through, and like these ropes that they could play with, and a ball pit, and everything was really, I think it was fascinating because of course you can be into BDSM or I don't know, into pain or feet or whatever, but this is really like it's a fetish that you also have to communicate to the other person in like a really different way, and I thought that was really interesting to see.
And would you ever try this?
The dogs? Like I said, I like it for the aesthetics. Like, I like the masks and the way it looks, and I would do it for the picture, but I could not see myself crawling on the floor, like running to my master and be like, no, that's, I think I could be the master, because I thought it was kind of cute that when you would like pet them, they were all like, oh, that's nice, but I don't know, I don't really see myself in that position, to be honest, sexually.
Okay. And can you tell me what your kink is?
What I'm exploring right now is the submissive side and the dominant side. So, like, as we say in gay language, I'm versatile, so that means you're either top, but you're also bottom, so you give, but you also receive. And I think for me, it's really interesting to explore within that, like, my really dominant side, because I can be like super dominant and like grab you by the throat and slap you in the face and spit on you or whatever, but I also like it when someone does that to me, and I think it's really nice to like flip in that during sex instead of just taking on one role and being like, okay, this is it for however, like whatever time we're gonna do it. And I think it's really nice if you're with a person who's like that as well. So you really have like the chance to, you know, kind of flip in between and really see what the other person has to offer as well.
Can you tell me the funniest experience you had while at Darklands?
I had two, I have to say. There was one, so you basically have like the big market where you can buy all kinds of things from like clothes to gear, but also if you have like this sex dungeon at home. So there was this stand who sold like the sex swings, the slings where you can lay in. And I was convinced that like the market was only to buy things, but apparently you could also try things out. It was really funny because I walked around the corner like past the stand where they sold the slings, and like someone was laying there and a guy had like his arm like elbow deep inside his butt. And I was like, oh, so this happens at the market as well. Like it's allowed here. So for me that was like a realization of like, okay, so people can do that here. And I think another funny thing was when during the night at the parties when we walked through like the dark room, playroom area just to like see what it's about. There was a guy that was with us. He was like, oh, I have to pee, I'll see you soon. And we were like, yeah, the toilet is just over there. But he said, no, I'm gonna go over there. So me and my boyfriend were like, okay, is there a toilet on that side as well? So we walked up there, and then I saw like this huge section with like latex floor covered in piss, and like all these guys were peeing, just like I think it was like 12 or 10 guys were just peeing off the railing inside this small pool, and the people who were into like the pee fetish were like enjoying themselves. So for me that was also like, okay, it was very interesting. Like I wouldn't want to be in the position of them, but it was really funny to see like, okay, I can either go to that toilet or I can just pee on people. Yeah.
And did you pee on people?
I did not pee on people. No, I can't pee in public. I always have to go to like the little thing, and I don't like peeing standing up. I have to sit down. Really? Yes. Yeah. No, it's fine. I don't mind.
And what would you say is the biggest misconception of this sort of world?
Looking at just the event like this, I think people really think it's about sleazy sex and it's about sex only, and that it's just one big gay orgy, which is, of course it happens like during the night at the parties, because yeah, there's dark rooms, there's playrooms, but like I said, it's a super social event where people really come together and just, you know, get in their fetish gear, but not go there to have sex. They go there to talk to people and to meet people. And I think that outsiders, so to say, really think it's only about having unsafe sex with as many people as you can, and it's really not about that.
Can you tell me the biggest thing you learned over the weekend?
I think personally to be less insecure about the way I look. It was really like, if you look like me with all the tattoos and the earrings, and sometimes you dress up a bit different than other people, like if you would walk on the street, like I don't care of people's opinions because, you know, I look this way and I know people will judge me, but to be in an environment where it doesn't matter at all and where you're actually like being praised for it, that people compliment you on it, I think what I learned is that I should care about that less in like real life as well. And also body-wise, like I am happy with the way my body looks, but of course everyone sometimes is a bit insecure about their body, and I really learned that it doesn't matter like who gives a fuck the way you look. Like as long as you're happy and just look the way you want to, that's fine. And I think that's something I really took home after this weekend.
And can you tell me how you got introduced into this world?
I think it kind of happened naturally, as in I started watching porn and having sex at quite a young age. Sorry, mom and dad. And I think, personally, I think that by doing that on a quite young age, you start to get used to the things that you watch, or get used to the things that you're into. So you kind of want to explore different things as well. And I always liked the more extreme side of things, like not just sex, but like everything. If I would go, I don't know, on holiday, I want to do the extreme things. If I go do something else, like I'm always looking to push my boundaries and to explore the different sides of something, so also sex. And I think from there I got my interest in like different kind of fetishes, but also wearing different types of materials such as latex and rubber. And I'm a very curious person, so I think for me it was just about trying out, and yeah, I liked it, so of course you're gonna continue with it as well.
And for someone who's interested in a world like this, how can they get introduced into it?
I think going to events like this is really informative. Also, if you're a woman, you can also go to a gay event during the day, because, for example, the puppy fetish, like I was at first, before I got here, I've never like experienced it myself or seen it in real life. And I really developed like empathy for them, instead of being like, oh, I just think it's weird and I don't know what it is about. So it's a really informative event as well. And there's like so many different people that you can talk to, from porn stars to people who have fetishes, from people who sell things. It's really, you can ask everything you want and really get the information that you want. So I think you will open up about it more as well. And if you're into it, the only thing I believe you can do is really to go to events, because then you can do whatever you want. You're not obligated to have sex or whatever. You're in a safe space where there's like-minded people. And yeah, I think just go out there and explore is the thing to say. So if you want more information about the world of fetishes and kinks, you can go down the description. We will post some links there that have some information about the event, but also some other websites that can help you explore your kinks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.